It is going to be jam-packed and stacked to the rafters today for the self-publishing news, including more news rolling out from KDP, as well as Amazon actually giving a spotlight to self-published authors. Yeah, that part right there just blew me away. Also, there's an argument made for AI, as well as, oh my gosh, Victoria Strauss has shined a spotlight on some more cockroaches in our business. And of course, you need to know about that. And also, I'll be doing a case study with ebook fairs and their editorial reviews. I'm going to give you more details about that in today's self-publishing news for October the 16th of 2023. Oh my goodness, this has been brought to you by the fine folks over at Dibbly Create. Harness human and machine intelligence for limitless creativity, boosted productivity, and authentic content with Dibbly Create. This is my cloud-based software that I've been using for the past few months now. It is really awesome. Real-time collaboration, intuitive structure, rich media integration, advanced formatting, ready for publish exports, augmented grammar, customizable exports, intuitive structure, and so much more. There is so much you can be able to do here with Dibbly Create. Go on over and visit my affiliate link at dalelinks.com/Dibbly Create. You can get yourself free access for life if you'd like to, or you can get the pro access for a 7-day trial. Go ahead and get yourself signed up over at my affiliate link again at dalelinks.com/Dibbly Create. Let's get into the very first big piece of news. The KDP team made sure to reach out to me and give me a gentle nudge, even though they sent this out to everybody else anyways. The old KDP Reports dashboard will be removed starting November the 6th. So, man, it was probably a good handful of years ago that they rolled out this new reports dashboard, and it was wonky as all get out. It was just always timing out for me anytime I went into it. It was never accurate. It just drove me insane. Now, about a few weeks ago, they updated that and it all of a sudden started working. It started working a lot faster, was more efficient. Sure, there are some tools I wish that were there that aren't there, but I'm sure they're going to improve this and tweak this in due time. So if you happen to be going into the old reports dashboard, it's going away as of November the 6th. So enjoy it while you can. Those days are going to be disappearing. I would bet you, based on the fact that they've given a facelift to the reports dashboard and the KDP community tab and all those other places, Author Central as well, I have a feeling we're going to see the KDP dashboard follow suit relatively soon because it still has that old look to it. And I bet you they're going to get that more modern look that they have, the Author Central look, if you will, the same way that they have the reports dashboard looking. Hey, Amazon really is stepping up their game. I really like the news that actually rolled out here. Amazon establishes first self-publishing library at the Ortega Marañón Foundation in Madrid. Ooh, this is kind of cool. So what they've done is they're donating an initial collection to this library of over 200 self-published titles. Now, I don't know if it's going to be one of yours, but they said the initial collection will include the 200 titles donated by Amazon. The essential criterion for inclusion in the library's shelves is that the work must be an original self-published piece. Thus, successful writers who began their careers by publishing through KDP, winners and finalists of past iterations of Amazon's Storyteller Literary Prize, or the highest rated books published through KDP will share the space. Ooh, are we going to see more of this? I would really love to see something like this more often. Now, it would be nice if they would give a little bit more love to the people that aren't quite as successful, but I get it. I understand it. It makes total sense that they would want to spotlight the ones that are really, really crushing it on their platform. So big applause to Amazon for this step in the right direction. Will we be seeing this in other countries, such as the United States, the UK, or whatnot? Remains to be seen, but this is very, very promising news. Let's go ahead and move a little bit further forward. I talked about this past week and probably weeks prior to that. Can Spotify take digital audiobooks to the next level? This was a piece put by Publishers Weekly, and they're talking a little bit more about how Spotify is just taking the audiobook world by storm. They acquired Findaway Voices about a couple of years ago, and more recently have been fine-tuning the platform, including if you're distributing your audiobook through Findaway Voices, you get a 50% cut. You get a 50% royalty. There is no additional revenue taken from the Findaway Voices platform if you're distributing to that. Now, you're able to price your audiobooks however you wish through Findaway Voices, and of course, you're going to get 50% of each one of those. Now, more recently, though, Spotify is allowing premium subscribers on their platform to listen to audiobooks. So this means that if someone listens to your audiobook through that premium subscription and not paying for it through a la carte, then you're going to get paid through a pool-based system. Now, I went and I got a hold of Findaway Voices to get a comment from them and say, okay, look, I totally get this. I understand what you're going for on this one, but I need to kind of get you to be more clear. What are we going to get paid other than through a pool-based system? Pool-based system means all the subscribers' money every month is pooled together, and then it's divvied out based on the amount of consumption, kind of like how KDP Select is done through Kindle Unlimited, if you will. So at any rate, this is the comment that Findaway Voices came back with. Spotify Premium is listening is a part of a pool model. The royalties will be reported quarterly, with the first report coming in January. You can access non-financial analytics here in the meantime. That will be underneath your Spotify Premium Analytics tab over inside your dashboard. And I asked, well, how is this being paid out? Is it minutes streamed? Is this like, how much can we anticipate? They said there's no set rate for a pool payout. It will vary month to month. Okay, that makes sense. Under a pool subscription model, customers and listeners pay a flat monthly price to access a subscription service, which contributes to a shared revenue pool. Royalties are paid based on an author's share of total audiobook listening for each monthly period. This pool amount varies from month to month based on the number of paying subscribers that access audiobooks. My recommendation would be to see what payouts look like in 2024 prior to making a decision one way or another, but you're absolutely free to remove your titles from Spotify or at your discretion. You can view Spotify's business models in the Schedule C of the distribution agreement. You will find them in both a la carte and pool subscription. Now, it's an all or nothing type situation, as I have seen it. And I even asked, like, hey, but they never clearly came out and said, you select Spotify, it's a la carte and pool. I really wish there was some way that we could select one or the other, but I didn't get any kind of clarification on that. I'm not really sure what's going on with Findaway Voices these days, but their customer support really has kind of fallen behind as of late. And I really hope that that is not a sign of things to come. Do appreciate them. They're an Ohio-based company, and hopefully they continue to improve what they're doing. And communication, I think, can definitely use some improvement in this little aspect here. Moving a little further forward, Scribe Count more recently actually did an update to where they actually integrate with Shopify. Now, Scribe Count is actually an aggregate model of bringing in, if you're a wide publisher, in other words, you're hitting Amazon and you're hitting Apple and you're hitting Kobo and Barnes & Noble, instead of going to all these different reports, what you do is you sign in Scribe Count, and they track all of those sales from you from each one of those regions. Well, now they're integrating Shopify as well. So that's really cool. I tested Scribe Count real briefly, and it's kind of cool. But keep in mind, they do, I think it's like a 2-week trial they'll initially do, or it's like a 1-month trial of some sort. You'll have to look into that yourself. I anticipate probably going into 2024, I will probably lean on them, especially since they are now supporting Shopify. And that's definitely going to be one of the avenues I'll be considering for direct sales. Hey, I've been talking about AI for a while. In fact, actually, the fine folks over at Pufferprint, an offset printing company, and I've actually got an interview coming up with the owner of this company here. They actually put together a piece called The Power of AI and Self-Publishing, Elevate Your Writing, Marketing, and Book Sales with AI. If you've been reluctant about AI, or if you've been on the fence, here are just a few reasons, and I recommend that you go ahead and read this piece as well. Number one, it helps in streamlining editorial processes. Number two, it helps out in data-driven guidance. That's the part I really enjoy. Number three, personalized reader experience and content niche creation. And number four, marketing your book. Yes, marketing. Actually, I'd shared this probably over a year ago, where I'd used one of the AI software out there. It might have been Content.ai or something like that. And I'd used it for ad copy in my Amazon ads. And it did really good. Like it kept it simple. And this is one of the things I think a lot of people are always just, these folks that are anti-AI don't realize that you don't necessarily have to use it for all generative purposes that's going to be stealing someone's intellectual property. You can leverage it in a way that's ethical and can work for you. So just kind of consider those things. And I would say go back, read this piece here real briefly. Jeremy and the folks over there at Pufferprint did a great job with it. All right. Another one coming out from print-on-demand company called Vervante. Vervante, actually, I had interviewed the founder of Vervante not too long ago, earlier this year. They just announced, we're very excited to introduce our latest offering, full color printed snap-in bookmarks, now available for wire O, spiral, and 3-ring binders. Previously, our snap-in bookmarks were exclusively available as foil stamped on frosted poly plastic. So that's really kind of cool. If you're looking for some very unique print-on-demand options, Vervante is definitely going to be the way to go. If you happen to go through Vervante, just keep in mind that there's going to be some setup fees, and it essentially, you're going to have to pay for that stuff up front. It is great for direct sales. If you're not in that position just yet, maybe Vervante is not going to be the greatest fit for you right now. But if you happen to be running some Kickstarter campaigns or you're doing some direct sales, they might be your solution. And they now have some new options for snap-in bookmarks. I think that's kind of the snap-in bookmarks for the wire O, spiral, and 3-ring binders. Hey, you got about a couple days left here. Ingram Spark actually is rolling out the Ingram ID program. And this is essentially a marketing program where they will go ahead and promote your book through various avenues, I think including Facebook and Google and maybe Amazon ads. I could be 100% off on that. I'm not really 100% sure on it. But they are right now running a special that you can take $15 off your first $100 advertising campaign with the promo code of TAKE15. That's TAKE15. So if you want to go ahead and take advantage of that, go ahead. I'm going to be in touch with Ingram Spark here relatively soon. I should have been in touch with them last week, but I just didn't get the opportunity to reach out to them because I want to talk to them more about this particular part of their business. All right, let's go a little further forward here to the fine folks over at the Alliance of Independent Authors, how to get your self-published books into bookstores. This is something a lot of people have always wanted to learn. Like, hey, how do I get into the bookstores? What if I go through Ingram Spark and I do it the deepest discount possible and I offer refunds, will I still be able to get in bookstores? Well, there's a little bit of finesse to that. It's not just a simple thing of let me discount it as low as possible, accept refunds, and then I'll magically peer into bookstores. So what Ally has done is given you a pretty good overhead view of what to expect and how to get into places like chain bookstores, independent bookstores, specialist bookstores, non-bookstore specialist outlets, supermarkets, and larger general stores. This is a fantastic piece done by the folks over at Ally. You know me, and if you don't know me, that's fine too. The Alliance of Independent Authors is a fantastic organization, and anything that they put out is well worth taking a look at. Let's go forward here to the folks over at Vellum. Vellum, excuse me, just put out a piece here recently. Big changes to sideloading on Kindle. Amazon's making big changes to books delivered via Send to Kindle and is now applying enhanced typesetting to books that are sideloaded. That means a much better experience for ARC readers and those who purchase your books directly from your website. So apparently, I did not know this, but if you were sideloading, meaning like if you emailed your ebook over to your Kindle device or your Kindle reader or the Kindle app, it lost some of that typesetting that you would get. Well, apparently the enhanced typesetting is now being loaded in there. So big shout out to the folks over at Vellum for sharing some of that information. Hey, do you want to get involved with the case study here with the Self-Publishing with Dale podcast channel, as well as the main channel of Dale L. Roberts? Come on along. I need about 5 different authors from 5 different niches if we can. We're going to be doing an editorial reviews case study with ebookfairs.com. Let me go ahead and summarize this for you. Typically, it costs about $25. You get about 5 editorial reviews that you can use this. Now, typically, they've worked with advanced reader copies, but they also can work with folks that actually already have the book published. So that's typically $25. They're going to waive that so we can actually do a full case study video. So applications you can get available over at dalelinks.com/case study. If for some reason it's ARC, just say inside the comments, and we need to definitely know what type of a niche or genre that you're writing in, and probably the title of the book as well as your name. That's all the relevant information, and I'll be getting together with the folks over at ebookfairs.com to figure out who we're going to go ahead and select. And keep in mind, you will be featured and showcased in future videos and also referenced in the podcast at some capacity, I'm sure later on down the line. Hey, have you ever been approached by folks to, do an interview, but you got to pay them? I didn't know this. Apparently, I've been doing it wrong all these years. I don't charge my guests. Maybe I've gotten it wrong, but apparently Victoria Strauss has actually shined a spotlight on some of those cockroaches right now. And apparently there are some folks out there that are paying for interviews. You don't have to pay for interviews, folks. Don't pay for interviews. Now, if you hire like an agency to go and get the interviews for you, I totally understand that. But buyer beware, because in a lot of instances in some of these agencies and firms, unless they're actually well known and well established, they're typically just going to get you the same thing you can probably get on your own. Meaning that you'll get placement on some of these podcasts and these YouTube channels and maybe some media appearances. They're 100% free. So if you want to have an agency to represent you, that's fine. But if you have someone specifically saying, you've got to pay me in order to be interviewed on my channel, run away. That's not worth your time. I don't care what the reach is on something like that. If you've got to pay for an interview, it's just not worth it. Read the full piece by Victoria Strauss, because it will send your eyebrows and nose hairs, and you're going to be saying, oh my Lord, and you'll at least be fully aware of what's going on. Big shout out to my good friend, Shannon Houston, SD Houston. She actually has a channel over on YouTube. Please go check her out at SD Houston over on YouTube. She actually just shared a piece here, or two pieces here. And let me go ahead and just read it to you exactly what she said. I think this news was released 6 days ago, but I'm just hearing about it. 11 Labs, which you've talked about before, can do a variety of things with voices, and I think will be a major player for people wanting to do audiobooks on a budget, which you've also noted, now has dubbing. It can take your audio and videos and use your voice and translate it to 28 other languages. So this is really kind of great information that you should definitely dig into. If you are pro AI and you're thinking about doing some type of AI narration, then might as well go ahead and get them to clone your voice. A good friend of mine as well, Nick Thacker, had utilized it, and he shared it with me. I legitimately thought he recorded it. He's like, hey, check this out. I was like, dude, that's really good. It sounds pro. He's like, it's AI. And I'm like, okay. I was like, you got me, man. You got me. Because a lot of times I've listened to some of the AI narration. It's garbage. It's just hot trash. But for whatever reason, 11 Labs is just that much better. It had me fooled. Maybe my ears aren't what they used to be, but it's definitely improving and going in the right direction. So what does this particularly mean? The dubbing. So let's say, for instance, that you want to do AI narration with your voice cloned in English. Great. They can also go into other languages. And from what I'm gathering from these pieces, it's over 20 different languages that are supported on 11 Labs. Now, 11 Labs is not free. All right. It is a premium model. You want to go ahead and take a look at it. I believe they have a trial that you can look into, but go ahead and Google up 11 Labs. I don't have a link to their channel. And last but not least, of course, I want to share with you in this channel here, and 1 week from today, and also on the main channel, we're going to be talking with Honore Quarter. She is a prolific author, wrote over 50 books, including part of the Miracle Morning series with Hal Elrod. Mark your calendars. Join me for this exclusive live interview, and you can ask her anything that you want to. She's always been an open book. Love me some Honore. It will be a blast. That's the news for this week. Did I miss anything in particular? Was there something that you said, I don't agree with you on that one there, Dale? Just join me over on Discord. There's a big community thriving full of different authors of all different walks, be it fiction or nonfiction or low content book folks. They're all there on Discord. Come on over, dalelinks.com/Discord. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale. I'll catch you next week. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. Special shout out to my channel members for both the podcast channel and the main channel. Without your support, some projects we do at Self-Publishing with Dale would be much harder to fund. If you want to contribute to the cause, visit dalelinks.com/memberships for details and get your on-screen shout out at the end of each broadcast. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I'll see you soon.